What is going on? What is going on? What is going on, party people? Man, it's your boy Coach D Brown, former big leaguer, former first round pick with the Kansas City Royals, man. And I am so sorry, man. I know these last 24 hours I've been neglecting and um all over the place, man. I had was driving, and then last night by the time I would try to get this get this interview or anything going, it would have been crazy, man. I would have been in the dark. All right, you would have been in the dark driving, and you wouldn't be able to see your boy, and it would have been crazy, man. But I'm back. I'm definitely sorry about the impatient and moving back, man. Just trying to get everything worked out and squared away with the showcase for tomorrow. All right, got a lot of people coming through. And I made it to Mississippi, man. So I'm excited about tomorrow. It's going to be fun. All right. Um, this is going to be a fun time over here, but I am definitely excited about what's going on tomorrow and in the near future, man. Okay, so just trying to finalize everything, man. Got a large group coming in tomorrow with the showcase. Close to, I think, got around 70 players, so it should be fun, exciting. A lot of exposure, a lot of you got some scouts that's going to be in attendance, man. All right. Um, you know, it's just one of those things, man. All right, Len, what's going on, man? We Australia, man. We good to see you on. We going doing this in the near future in Australia, man. All right, so what we doing here in Mississippi tomorrow, we're gonna be doing hopefully get just as many kids. It's supposed to be about 50, 60, 70 kids in Australia, and man, it should be cool. What up, Lincoln? All right, so it's going to be a cool, exciting times over here. Maybe in Florida next weekend. The following week in Dallas, and then November 21st, Waco. Then we hitting up. We're going to be streaming all the way out there in Australia, man. So it's going to be crazy. So one of the things, man, I wanted to talk about, man, and I'm sorry again for yesterday. I was just one of those driving and traffic, and then I thought I could kind of get in the room and get situated like I am now in a hotel and be able to do it, but nah, you know what I'm saying? It was traffic, and by the time 8 o'clock ran around, I was in the middle of the highway, half asleep, tired, running around all day, and then finally got here and just crashed, man. All right. We'll see you in Texas, sir. Looking forward to it. Appreciate you, Eric, man. Can't wait to see you out there in Texas. Javier, what's good, baby? Orlando, well, South Florida in the house. I see you in Orlando next week. Coach Eaton, what's good? What's good? Lincoln, was good? All right. Jansen was good. All right. So, all right, man. I wanted to hit this topic up, and shout out to Ivy in Alabama. She hit me up with this question yesterday, and I answered her back today. This is what I like to do is just kind of communicate. A lot of parents and kids hit me up in the background. I got a kid from 2022 kid from the Virgin Islands hit me up yesterday and wanted to send me some film and you know get some critiquing and all of that, which I don't have the time to do all of that, but it is what it is. And I had a parent from Michigan talking about a 6'4", 270-pound kid. I'm like, I'm 190. I said, I got to see this. So anyway, I get a lot of stuff in the background, but Ivy here came up with a lot of a good question about this organization she just joined. They were going to be putting her in a development program in the summer, and they kind of wanted her and her son to stay with that organization all summer, besides just the tournaments, but also do the development part, the practicing and stuff during the summer. And she had asked me, is that okay, or is that normal or something like that? And I was just like, for some, I don't know about most programs. I know when I ran my showcase teams, we didn't practice much. We just played on this in the weekends. All right. Cynthia paid and ready. I look forward to meeting you, Cynthia, and meeting your son. All right. Charles, what's good? All right, my 11-year-old is all about winning. All right, Brent, what's good? Florida in the house. Bubba, what's going on? I got your message. I heard you got banned over there from. I don't put your business out in the street, but good to see you on YouTube. All right, Bubba, my boy Bubba in Alabama. But man, it was just this. Basically, Ivy was talking about is this common to have training, development, and tournaments all in one, program, especially in summer and being a teenager. And I kind of, the way she had asked me, I didn't know if she was upset about it or was she just kind of wanted to be informed. Is that the norm? And I kind of, she asked me what I felt about it, and I was just like, listen, how do you feel about it? Right? If I didn't know how to take it. I didn't know if she was asking because if she wanted to go play in a tournament that they were going to get mad and then want her to go play in another tournament with another organization, because you know how that goes. Was it going to be time consuming for her to be practicing, a lot in the summer and then play tournaments? So I kind of wanted to get a feel for her, and she basically was saying, she didn't mind it. She just didn't know if that was. There you go. All right, and thank you for putting my question on. There you go, Ivy. All right, so that's what I do. So it comes to picking organizations, right? And this is why I wanted to, so shout out to Ivy. I should give you a little love out there. All right, Ivy, you gave me that great question, and it made me think. That's why I wanted to put it on, because it made me think. And I talked about this in the past, but not in depth as I'm going to do it right now. When you choose an organization, right, it depends on where you are, all right, what age group, all right, and what are you looking for, okay? Because the title on here is, are you about development, are you about winning, or are you about exposure, right? And most organizations are going to portray and put on our front like they are about all three, but there are very few top-notch organizations that do all three, okay? And depending on what age group you get into that organization, all right, you may not have the chance or the opportunity to get the proper development, all right? Case in point, so when I had a 14-year-old team, and I was just talking to one of my parents on here yesterday about my 14-year-old team I had in years ago. I kind of just put this high level 14-year-old team. Now, most of these kids were 8th grade going into 9th grade, and they're seniors now. So off of that team that I had that year that I put together, we got a Memphis, Kansas State, Arkansas, Naval Academy, one kid recruited for football, Wake Forest. Another kid is going full ride football to Southern Miss, and we got about 3 or 4 football players off of that team that's going to go D1 football. So again, I knew we were talented a talented team. I just didn't realize how talented and athletic we were on that 14-year-old team. All right, there were 14. But I had put this team together. It was maybe 3 kids off of that one team that I had since we were 12 years old. The rest I just kind of got from all different organizations, and we put this good team together. I was so surprised at 14 how much little baseball that they really knew. Okay, from cutoffs to where to be position wise and all. I was really discouraged about, man, these kids are 14, don't know, the proper way to hit a cutoff, man, when to overthrow the baseball, when to how to double relays and double cuts and stuff like that, right? These are 14-year-old kids. And I quickly learned that, again, these kids are being taught this was an eye-opener to me with the showcase baseball scene, where these kids are just put out there. They go 1-2 days, if the most, to practice, and then they go on the weekends to play tournament games, right? And then what's happening is that 1 to 2 days, and God forbid they play multiple sports, and not get into true development, and then they go out on the weekends and play, put up numbers. They kind of hide out what they don't do and don't know, right? And then what happens is they get to, they've been playing that way. They get to high school, and all of a sudden the high school coach got to get them, and God forbid how much that guy knows, man. And I'm not cool, but there are some really, really great high school coaches, but depending on if he, just a math teacher that enjoys baseball, never played past high school himself, what I'm saying? Just depending on that type of, teaching you're getting, your kid may be talented as I don't know what, but really never have been taught the game. All right. And then what happens is you get kids that go to college and they have to be taught. And that's why you get these raw to labels. That's where you get these, these coaches talking about, man, it's showcase baseball and all of that, right? And it hurts the kid, it hurts the game. And now the coaches, even though they're bringing them on the campus, most coaches, especially at the highest level, the Division I level and all of that, they expect you to know the littlest things when it comes to baseball. And they're not, these kids nowadays are not being taught, right? You have these high-level organizations that preach development, right? But they may preach it from, I believe the foundation is set, if you can get into top-notch organizations that do development, to develop the kids well. And, by 8 to 12, I believe the best teaching, the best foundation is laid between 8 and 12, okay? People seem to think that because 8-year-olds and 9-year-old, 10, it's okay if a non, if a dad that doesn't really know the game, goes on YouTube, and I'm not poo-pooing that, but, don't really understand the nuances he's learning on the fly himself, goes out and teaches these 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids. Now, they may go on the weekend and win and all sorts of talent, but they're not being taught the game, really well. And eventually you get exposed. All right. So the best teaching, if you can get in an organization between 8 and 12, that, where you have, college and pro type coaching going on, development style. All right. And again, it may come at a loss. It may come from a point where, what happens is the parents, you guys get, impatient or get upset because you paid this money. You want to win. Right. But then sometimes when you see the littlest things happen with a little progression, it may not turn out to wins or losses on the weekends, but it may turn out to the fact that little Johnny didn't know where the cutoff man was before, but by the end of the year, he knows how to hit a cutoff man, or he knows how to hit behind a runner, or knows how to scale balls, consistently, right? It may not be, showing up big in the box scores and stuff like that, but again, you're seeing the progression happen. So what happens is sometimes, on the weekends, we pay that money, we want to win, and whatever, right? And I see these kids, sometimes I see these tournaments, I see these teams, even I had mine in my past. It's always good to see. Then you want the development behind the scenes where they're getting the proper coaching and teaching that, you want it all to happen, right? But sometimes it doesn't work that way. There are teams right now that are losing on weekend, losing 2 out of 3 out of 5 games a weekend, and there are awesome team going on, right? Because what happened is the 10, 11, 12-year-old studs and all of that, they go out there and beat down, the 10, 11, 12-year-old team that may be a double, triple A that's learning the game, learning that game and all of that. But this 12, 13, 14-year-old kids are strong. They grew faster than everybody and throwing harder than everybody. It ain't no development. They just essentially just matured faster, right? But they don't really know the game. But they want us to get elevated, all right? But the kids down here are learning the game, learning the fundamentals and all of that, taking the pounding and all of that. But what happens is eventually that evens out like this, right? That kid doesn't really know the game, doesn't know how to work, right? He just overpowers everybody. But eventually that kid that's just been working, understanding the game and all that will overpower. And these top-notch kids, we talked about the S2 with my boy Paul Phillip, talking about the understanding of the game, which is going to be huge. Mark my word, and in the next 3 to 4 years, right now they do use it, and from a pro side, when they're essentially gauging and separating them, young prospects going into the draft, eventually it's going to get like that. It's already happened. The Vanderbilts and the Lynchkins and a couple of Baylor University are using the S2, brain cognition to essentially extra data on these young prospects. All right, this is going to become the norm. All right, so again, it's how do you process things? How do you learn? How quickly can you, got a pitch and learn something that a coach is being taught, teaching you? All of that is going to be wrapped in here. So, when you're super talented, you don't have to work as hard. You don't have to think because you're just natural, big and strong. You just outpower and you just out mature everybody, right? But eventually you're going to get caught up on. Those kids that gets at 14, 15, gets the big time D1 program, gets these scholarships, and they are wowing you with the radar gun and the exit velos and all of that type of stuff. And when you if you really lock it down and really have the understanding, when to hit in the hole, how to do a double cut if you're an infield, or when to air it out when you're in the outfield, you try to get a guy home, and try to get a guy out. When you make sure you have to hit the cutoff man. You know what I'm saying? When you double stealing, when is a good count to steal? When is a good, way hit behind the runner? When is it how to, save your average, how to play the game within the game, right? All of this stuff really matters, man. All right. You want that development hardcore to be there, because sometimes when you're 16, you can get taught the game at 16, but when you get to that showcase level, then it becomes basically now you're out there like what I'm doing right now with these kids out here tomorrow, right? I'm gonna have 70 kids out here, and I'm gonna see, there's no real baseball IQ going on tomorrow. All right, we're just measuring kids, giving them exposure. They're gonna, hit hard. They're gonna see how far they can hit or how hard they can hit, how basically how strong they are throwing off the mound, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a measurement thing, right? Which essentially is almost like a NFL combine, right? You know what I'm saying? When an NFL guy is out there running in t-shirts and shorts and all, he's running a 40, and there's the guys that make millions of dollars every year based off of their combine. But then you get them on the field, you know what I'm saying? They get, they don't know the right play. They get, you know what I'm saying? They fast as hell, but they still get burnt. They don't know how to read balls and you know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff happens when you got workout warriors, right? You know what I'm saying? Combine warriors. So this is difference in that. All right. So when you're choosing an organization, I know we got comments coming in. Jason, what's up, family? All right. All right. This is all right, one of my pro guys. I'm an ex big leaguer that's listening. Oh, that's Jason. All right, my boy Jason, upstate New York, right? So one of my dudes, what you want from an organization is, all right, you want the development piece, especially if you're young, you want the development piece. It is all good to travel and say you're on a major team and all of that, but if you're not getting the proper teaching, who cares? All right, who cares if you're on a major team and you're beating everybody, beating down everybody and all of that at 10, 11, 12? It doesn't really matter because I've never seen a scout sit there and say, oh, man, this kid, man, when I love this kid throwing 95 right now, man, but you know what I'm saying? When he was 13, 12 years old, man, and when he was on that major team, man, he was lights out then, man. He was so good and whatever, man. He went 13-1 with a, you know what I'm saying, ERA of so. They ain't looking at that. You know what I'm saying? Right? They're just sitting there saying, wow, this kid is good. And then he's being taught the game. They can care less what happened at 10, 11, 12, or 13. Do I say that it doesn't mean anything? No, you want to go out there, you want to win, right? But you want to, win the proper way of understanding the game. Now, from an organization standpoint, you want to get that organization that, because everybody will talk it, but, really developing it. All right? Then you want to, hopefully when you play that good baseball, it translates into wins, okay? Sometimes the parents, they kill me, but I be seeing these little, and I don't want to be messing around because I get like that too, right? Because my daughter with tennis, I want her to go out on the weekends and win too, right? She get these little cheap little plaques and stuff, and I post it on Facebook. I'm just as guilty, right? But I see this baseball, I see these big old fake little rings with U-Trip and the ring, and their kids are, I know they love it, and the ribbons and stuff that if you move too fast, the metal part would jump, would rip off anyway. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know what I mean? I'm right there with y'all, right? But in the grand scheme of things, I was just talking to one of my moms today about this. In the grand scheme of things, I'm like, do I really care about a 12-year-old? You know what I'm saying? When I said I would be nervous if she was the best 12-year-old right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you can only go this way, right? You always want to be going this way, right? So if you're the top team at 12, the number I hear is number 1 12-year-old, number 30, number 1 in the country, I'm like, you can only do this. You know what I'm saying? So then especially if it gets to your head, you want to be doing this, all right? And I always say this: the right now, if you're between 12 to 14, 12, 11 to 14 or whatever, right? That top kid that's usually 12 to 11 to 14. Nine times out of 10, he won't be the top kid at 17 and 18. It's just not going to happen. It'll be that mediocre kid that shows glimpses, that can run a little bit. He's still a little awkward, you know what I'm saying? But he shows a little tools, but he may strike out a little bit more than normal. He may be a little bit more erratic with his pitches than normal, and all of a sudden he just gets it, right? And everybody's like, man, I remember him, whatever. But the big kid that was 12, 13, 14 was smashing balls and bigger, stronger, faster than everybody and running, and the mom and the dad are standing up there proud, and and everybody wants to be playing on his team and all that. When he turns 7 and 18, you're gonna be like, Dad, what happened to him, man? He's throwing the same way. Like, yo, what's up with that? All right. That's what happens, man. So anyway, then you have that last part, and I get to all everybody's up there. When you get into that big part of it, you hope you got the development from the organization. You hope you're winning from the development is working and is helping you win. Okay, winning the proper way, not just out slugging and out being physical with everybody. And then hopefully that organization that you're rocking with is getting the maximum exposure for you. You know what I'm saying? That's when you get the trifecta. Now there may be, I see a lot of programs out there that pluck the kids that are 15, 16, 17 and working hard in another organization. They take them, right? And then they go and bring them into the big tournaments, and they the ones that plaster, hey, so-and-so is going to Clemson or so-and-so, whatever, but they didn't even do the work in the background. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just pluck the kid and put him out there, and, and that's their model. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take the best kids, put them in the tournament, and boom. And once he gets the scholarship off our organization, we claim that whatever, but all the hard work done by a different organization. You know what I'm saying? Like, a different coach and all of that. Now that organization may not have the plug in with all the big time tournaments again, right? But again, that organization needs to, make sure that they get their love too. Okay, I'm not hating on those organizations for doing what they're doing, right? Essentially, right? My business, I'm doing that, right? I'm taking these kids that are coming to my showcase from different programs and high schools and organizations, and I'm just putting them in front of these coaches that I know, right? And they're coming to my showcase, right? But then I'm not playing them, I'm not in a tournament, whatever. They just showcasing them, right? But it's you have to understand, what I'm saying, what everybody's thing is. You could have the top organizations that plug the best kids, and that's their motto. And I don't hate on them, right? That's what they do. But understand that if I'm a 10, 11-year-old kid and I'm looking at that kid that's just signed to Florida State as a 16, 17-year-old at that same program, like follow that kid's journey. He may not have started at 10, 11 years old at so elite team or so, whatever program. All right. They're plugging the best kids and putting them out there for blast. And then the 10, 11-year-old kids are getting so, coaching, but everybody wants to wear that, like I know it's a proud thing, but by that time, if you're not getting the proper coaching and teaching and all that, who cares if you're going to the showcases at 17, 18, if you don't game, you ain't getting no scholarship then. Just because you play on a, so-called top-notch whatever, that don't mean you're going to get love. You're going to get, I promise you, every time you go to a tournament, every weekend, again, I do the numbers. I try you 7% make it. I don't care. You may go to one of these top programs in the world with that in Florida, and I mean in Atlanta or Florida and California and all of that. Not everybody on that team, not all 9 players are going to go, if on an average day out there, even at a high level, not everybody's going big time D1 schools and all of that. They're going to portray it. They're going to say, oh man, that team over there got 8 guys going here, whatever. But then you go right over to the next team and you got 1, 2 guys, what I'm saying, that are going. Now everybody's under the assumption that they're going to be at the tournament, they're going to get seen and all of that. But for the most part, it don't work like that, man. Okay, here we go. Whew. Sorry about that. I wanted to I hope I explained it in a long-winded way. Too many showcases ready, not baseball ready. I agree. All right. Al says, all right, this is one of those days we putting everybody's organization on blast. We're going to hear about some of these organizations. All right. Addy Speed from Vacaville. All right. Shout out to Vacaville, California. My boy, home of Jermaine Dye, one of my teammates. Do all 3. Addy Speed from Vacaville, California, do all 3. We have put through 13 players to college. W11 and D1. All right. I don't know what W11 means. All right. We coach 16 to 18 high school travel ball. Dyron rolling manager. All right. Shout out to Al and his organization. This is our 3rd year. Congrats. All right. All right. Renee says, my 10-year-old son has accepted an attorney team only, a very competitive travel team that building with awesome coaches that help develop with their mechanics. I was torn, but leaning towards the building team with great coaches to help him when he is older. Am I right? Or dad wants the tournament team? All right, let me see that. So we were accepted for attorney team, very competitive travel team, and the travel team that we're building that you were with, I guess, awesome coaches that help develop with the mechanics. I was torn, but leaning towards the building team with great coaches to help him when he is older. Am I right? Or dad wants a tournament team? You can go tournament team at 10, and now again, you start chasing these programs, coaches, stuff like that. If from a you have to understand at a 10-year-old level, right? I say 10 to 13, almost 14-year-old level to get to high school or something. It really truly counts to get the exposure. You gotta understand, like, if you're getting proper coaching, right? Good coaches that you feel very good about, okay? You may not win all the time, but if your kid is having fun and is a great family, because that's everything. All right. Because trust me, you go on those high level teams and parents are coming in from different programs and areas and stuff like that, and high money's being spent. That's when the daggers start. That's when the daggers start. But if you got a good family, you know what I'm saying, that from a team and the parents, you get along with much everybody, because we all out of 12 kids and all of that, and 12 families, you got 20 to 24 sets of different people and personality, because you got husband and wife team. The husband may be loud and on, or maybe chilled, or vice versa, right? And certain parents may like the wife and not like the husband and all that type of stuff. So it's not everyone gets along with everybody, right? But if you got 80-90% of the team really is cool with each other, and you're getting proper coaching, you love the coaching, and you're being tempted by another high or whatever, you need. But that I'll be right back. My bad on that. Let me get this. But the grass is not always greener on the other side. All right. And so you have to, sorry about that. You have to really, pick your poison. All right. Do you want to go to higher and not really know? But if you got that concrete team, y'all get along as parents, and the kids love each other, and kind of, root for each other. And because this little carrot is being. I think I'm getting too animated and moving on. Hold on 1 second. So you're gonna have to really pick and choose your poison. All right. Do you want to, dangle this thing and mess up the flow, and your kids love the team and all of that, because you're chasing what, at 10 years old. So hold on let me get this camera thing worked out. But just be careful with that. All right. I'm gonna get off of one. I'm gonna be still. You should be able to still hear me. I'm just going to clean up this camera. Hold on 1 second here. All right. But you should be able to still hear me. But just be careful, all right? So that's a great question. I appreciate that, Renee. And that's what a lot of people have to fight. You know what I'm saying? That carrot that's being dangled out there, and you feel like, oh, my kid is getting better, and these other kids, because every team is always recruiting. I don't care. You're getting evaluated at 8, 9 told nowadays, and hell, I did it with my organization. I was looking for proper teams and good kids and all of that. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this camera worked out. Sorry about that. So 1 second. All right. All right, there we go. All right. So next question. Sorry about that. Appreciate that. I hope I answered your question, Renee. All right. All right. Charles says kids don't even know how to bunt or know what small ball is. You ain't lying. All right. You ain't lying. All right, my boy Jason. Good to see you, Jason. All right. I coach a 14U travel baseball. We develop, we teach them and baseball IQ and how to play the game, and which is awesome. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. All right. Mark, what's up, family? All right. MVP Hustle Baseball, we develop champions. All right. Shout out to Rod. All right. Shout out to MVP Hustle Baseball. All right. Kids should be developed and have a high baseball IQ before heading to a showcase, because the kid can be athletic, but without basic skills, they get lost and can lose interest. I agree. All right. And what happens is, even with a showcase baseball, because from a pitching standpoint, you may be only airing it out for three innings or 1 inning, or, with all these pitch counts, right? And then, from an infielder and outfielder, because hell, I'd be the first to tell you I ain't know the game. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't playing in these high-level showcase games anyway. You know what I'm saying? I was just playing summer Legion ball and keeping it moving. Thought I knew the game, you know what I'm saying, but really didn't. But again, I wasn't paying thousands of dollars and traveling all over the place. That wasn't what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, a high money, a lot of, tournaments, big tournament fees to get in, and maximum exposure and all this type of stuff. And, it'd be a shame, just like them Hall said the other day, when you go to a showcase and you go to these tournaments, you want to be showcaseable. You know what I'm saying? And my boy always said that, man, you want this exposure, right? So two things are going to happen. You're going to get exposed, or you get the maximum exposure. All right. Two things are going to happen. You're going to get exposed, or you're going to get the exposure. All right, all right. When should you trust your kid to another coach? Man, that's a great question. It just depends on, and I know on my other page you might ask this on the other, and I could find out who was asking this question. But you just, I mean, it's a gut feeling, man. It's a gut feeling. Um, you're gonna, eventually, the kid is gonna tune you out. You know what I'm saying? It happens. My daughter, certain things she locks in, but when I get talking tennis, you know what I'm saying, as far as like grips and stuff like that, she's like, yeah, whatever, right? But I know the competition aspect of it. I want her to, what I try to again. I know the game as far as points and and whatever, but grips and when to do what particular shot. I could tell her when she do it wrong. You know what I'm saying? But as far as anticipating here and there, but I try to teach her the body language of her opponent. All right. You're not matching her intensity, right? You know what I'm saying? That little stuff I can coach her on, right? But as far as mechanics and stuff like that, I don't really get into that. I got to the point where she was 8, 9, 10 years old, and I wasn't one to be on YouTube reading and all of that. I was not the Richie Williams, you know what I'm saying? But I can get into this. I want her to, I can get into her and start teaching her how to read her opponent body language. When you have the momentum, when to not give it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to know in this game to know like the girl got her head down or the girl is really thinking like, she got a chance now because you're letting her back in the game. You see what I'm saying? Those type of stuff. I had to learn at a young age, when she was 8, 9, 10. I'm like, I can't coach her, you know what I'm saying? Because she those days that she don't want to practice, I can't do nothing but treat her like I do these older boys, right? And I'll be making her run and sprints, and it was just too much for me, right? And I know I was just like, and I was one that would take it home with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why you even work so, and I couldn't separate that, right? So I was like, yo, I'm gonna let her coaches do what they do. Now, if I'm different, right? But if when it's time, when your kid is time to tune you out and your level, and I love when dads say, listen, my kid is 14, 15. I'm at the max of what I know with the game. You know what I'm saying? I talked to the other day, I spoke to my boy CC Sabathia for the first time in years, right? And he was like, yo, I just want to chase my son, whatever. But he was like, yo, I was like, yo, he pitching? He's like, nah, he ain't pitching. He's like, he just started pitching. He's a first baseman, but I just started teaching him pitching and stuff like when he was 14, 15. I said, you ain't really? He's like, nah, and don't quote, but it was like something like that when I was surprised. And he was just like, nah. He was like, yo, he wasn't trying to do it, whatever, like that. I wasn't going to teach him, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because he ain't really was, right. Now here he is, a future Hall of Fame pitcher, you know what I'm saying, telling me that he wasn't teaching his son how to pitch. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, yo, he want to be a first baseman. I ain't trying to force him to be on the mound. He's on the mound. I let him, the coach, do what he do. He's like, I got him now. I got the time. But it's like, I don't be coaching him like that. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, yo, he's like, I just want to be a fan and watch him. Now here's a Hall of Famer saying that, right? You know what I'm saying? So again, it's so that's a great question, Dad. I can't, I can't sit here and say at this particular age, you just know when your son is ready to is tuning you out, and you kind of feel this gut guy, you know what I'm saying? You like this coach and all of that, you vet this guy, and it's a hit or miss. He's not going to be everything that you want from, and that's what I get mad. Even my, what I'm saying, my other half, my daughter's mom, and I'm like, you're never going to get the perfect coach. You know what I'm saying? You're never, what I'm saying, with development and teaches the right thing and pushes the right buttons and speaks well and knows, doesn't curse at my kid and pats him on the back when he needs to, and all that timing thing and all of that. There's very few coaches. All right. And I just want to put that out there for you parents out there right now. Okay. Because all my dads out there that played the game and all of that, if you play long enough, I played, 16 years professionally, high school, Legion, travel, wasn't travel, Little League and all that type of stuff. I can't even count how many coaches I've had, in my lifetime and all of that. But how many that really meant something to me as far as like one was good for teach, one was whatever, I could count on one hand. So again, from parents standpoint, I want you to understand that right here I am, and I'm just saying here, whatever. I've talked to them. I've had ex-major league guests come on here and I asked that question for around the game 2+ years, played games I was 8 years old, and all of that. All these type of coaches and all of that I've had here and there, I can count on one hand that really essentially, that meant something hardcore to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying like all these other coaches didn't mean something. They did. As far as like memorable to me that stick with me, one hand. So 5 or less coaches out of all the hundreds of coaches that I've had in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So saying that, you put your kid off to one and you be like, and mad, and that coach don't do this and da. It's very few that will do everything. All right. They're human. I say the same thing with me because there's certain things I'm really good at and certain things that I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be the first to tell you that. All right. Let me see here. How many showcases a year should a kid attend per year starting as a freshman in high school? All right, Smitty, good question, man. So my formula is this, depending on the level of kid you are, you know what I'm saying? Depending on the level of your kid. All right, if you have a decent kid that wants the exposure and can play, you know what I'm saying, that you may be thinking, again, get a qualified coach. All right, not a guy that never played at the high level himself, right? Because everybody, we all know talent, but sometimes it's that little inkling, right? It's a little thing here and there, right? But a coach, even if he never played in college, high school, but he's essentially coached a lot of kids into the pros or into college, he knows what he's looking at. Okay, get an evaluation from him. All right, and the parents, do not get upset when he tells you, all right, hey, right now he's not ready for a Vanderbilt. Okay, he's a D2 kid right now, or whatever. Take that pride, take that, you know what I'm saying, and as an okay, all right. Because the 14-year-old kid that is like a future major league prospect and a bandy commit and all of that, I promise you, his game 9 times out of 10 is only going to go like this at 14. Okay, I promise you. All right. I was like this at 4:30, but there's a lot of things I couldn't do right, and I was naive to my talent. I promise you, at 14, and when I was 14, I still thought I was going to be playing NBA basketball. It's a 5'11", 6 feet, guard, and thinking that I still thought at 14 I was going to be playing basketball or football somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's get the qualified evaluator evaluating your kid saying this, and you have to trust what he says from a trustworthy person and not get offended. From that point on, you go to 2 to 3 major for his level showcases, okay? Because everybody says showcases, all right? You know what I'm saying? And when I mean, I'm talking about team showcases, travel ball team type, right? If it's Worldwood Bat in Atlanta or somewhere in Jupiter, 4 miles, if you're a high level kid, take them there. You know what I'm saying? Put them in front of some people, 1 to 2 big tournaments that summer. And the rest, I would spend money on figuring out what that coach, the evaluator has said, D2, whatever. So if I live in St. Louis, Missouri, right? And that the coach told me that right now I'm at a D2, whatever. I would look at the D2 schools in my 3 to 5 hour radius that, I would try to go, to those, figure out when they're having the camps, when they're having showcases, prospect camps. I'm not talking about playing. I'm talking about what I'm doing tomorrow, running, throwing measurements, meeting the coaching staff and all of that. I would do that in the summers. All right. I would do 2 major tournaments from a team standpoint. That doesn't mean I'm only going to not play. You know what I'm saying? You can do 2 major tournaments and then go play locally, you know what I'm saying, and getting your reps in and all of that. But I would spend the money on going on these college campuses. All right, go on the campuses from what the evaluation from what your coach has said. Again, remember from what the evaluator has said. Okay, because there's no sense of you going on a Vandy, camp and all of that just for the sake of. I understand it's enticing and you want to go and who knows and all of that, but you'd be wasting your money. You know what I'm saying? If you're not on that level, because Vanderbilt are giving 14-year-old kids, you know what I'm saying, scholarships. Okay, so you may think I'm just gonna go over there and all. Are there kids that don't belong at a Vandy camp? Yeah, because they gotta make their money. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to make the best bang for your buck. So Smitty, I'm hoping I'm answering your question. All right. 2 decent sized major from a team standpoint tournaments, showcases in the summer, 2 to 3, and then I would pick 2 to 3 showcases, you know what I'm saying, like on a college campus, there, meet those coaches. Right now I'll have 20 something, potentially 20 schools streaming in tomorrow. All right, I will have 70 plus schools will have access to that workout tomorrow. But a lot of that is because of just the times we're in. We're in COVID times, you know what I'm saying? So eventually in the summer, next summer, I want to go on a Tennessee campus. I already got invited yesterday, today. It was an NIL program in Alabama, but he was like, yo, D, I would love for you to come next on the summer when I can open up and you do a showcase on my campus. You know what I'm saying? That's what I really wanted to do this fall. But because of the D1s and, being closed, I wasn't able to do it. But hence, that's what the streaming came in. Okay. So that's what I would do. Giovanni, that's 90% of them. All right. Explain development. It's more than ground balls and B. Is it more than ground balls and development? Great question. Because I always say that word development. When I think of development from a player standpoint, right? I think more practice settings, practice situation, almost academy style workouts. Is it more ground balls? Yes. But it's nothing. When I say development, it's getting the proper ground balls, fly balls, hits and swings and all of that, whatever, right? But it's in-game action when it doesn't mean nothing. Putting your son or daughter in a situation where you have to put it as game-like as possible when it doesn't mean nothing, meaning wins or losses. So it may start off with, you could give them all the ground balls and all of that, but on, Tuesday and Wednesday, but on the Thursday and Friday, right, we're going to start the team off with second and third and make it hard for that pitcher, you know what I'm saying? So he has to start at a 2-0 count, all right? He has to find out a way to get out of that situation. Same thing from a hitting standpoint, all right? All right. And then start just kind of coming out and putting situations on it. All right, what are you going to do, second baseman? What this guy is on second base and whatever. It's almost a chalkboard style, and then implementing out there. That's the development. So when you get to the game situation and all of that, nothing is surprising them. All right. So what is development is chalkboard style, going through situations, putting them in adverse situations in practice. Okay. And then so when the game comes, it just comes like that. When the baseball IQ just goes. All right. I understand that it's hard in 1 or 2 practices and put them on a weekend. All right. But maybe, set the practice time. All right. Today, we're going to just practice ground balls and boom, 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 boom. The next day, we're going to do hitting. But on that third practice or something like that, we're going to put yourself in adverse situation, and it starts early. All right. Make it as game-like as possible. Put that atmosphere up there so when they get in the game, they know what to do. All right. If he's the best player and all of that, you put him in the worst situations. All right, you're starting off 0-2. All right, man is on third base. Get this guy in. All right, pitcher, you know what I'm saying? Get him out. Or you save your arms, coach. You put him in there. All right, make him, and then boom, call him out. Hey, what are you doing this call? What are you doing over there? Boom, boom. All right, and then you bring him in. You could draw it up on the dirt or whatever. Bring it up chalkboard style and just put a program together where they are developing the IQ, the game like. You always want to practice in the eye, right? You know what I'm saying? From a batting practice standpoint, right? When you're throwing batting practice, don't just feed him what he wants and all for these kids and all of that, right? If they're 10, 11, 12 years old, throw fastball, throw changeups, throw whatever, right? Make it a game-like situation. Put it to the point. If they don't get excited, they run a little bit. But make it fun, but make it, right? Because we all want to see little Johnny hit the ball. Hey, yo, I almost hit it out, coach. Oh, dinger. I hear it all the time, right? No, all right? Start spinning a little bit. All right? Start changing them up, all right? Make them think about it. All right. Say, listen, you know what I'm saying? I may throw 5 pitches this AB. All right. I want you to hunt the fastball. I may throw 3 changeups, a slider, and all that, and then boom, fastball. They have to hit the fastball. So they're thinking. All right. If they let the fastball go, they gotta run. So again, I'm talking development. That's my way of thinking. I'm hoping I get across, you know what I'm saying? You describing that king-like family, Chris. Shout out to my boy Chris out there, KC. Y'all went in doing y'all thing. All right. How do you feel about 11, 12-year-olds traveling state to state to play ball? We live in California with plenty of good teams out here. Is this really? No. In California, hell no. You ain't got to leave. All right. I know right now, COVID, I talked to some of the Cali parents, the high schoolers. They're going down to Arizona because they said California's locked down. But I would, California, you get all the ball, all the smoke, all the talent you need. All right. Rick Rock, what's up, family? Leading up to win a ball, do we straight class and whiteboard work situations, defensive player positions, cuts and backups? Kids come into high school with no clue on how the baseball IQ is very important, high school level. Yeah, man, I love the chalkboard style. I love it, man. It's boring to them. But if you kind of understand the angles and stuff like this, and I think about what I would want. Think about what you would want, Giovanni. You know what I'm saying? Like from things that you didn't know, you wish you would know, and all of that, right? I would love for that to be, you put that on the chart. Just maybe every day, just 10, 15 minutes, or every other practice, 10 to 15 minutes, go over a situation here. You know what I'm saying? We do it on the pro side, right? Here's guys been doing this stuff forever and forever, right? But best believe before we go out there, we talk from a coaching standpoint. We go over what's going to happen. We go over cutoff and relays from a coaching and what we want our kids to do, because every philosophy is different. Every teaching, every organization has a different way. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it their way. So we have to learn from a coaching standpoint and then go implement it and tell those kids. So what makes you think from a coaching standpoint that's supposed to be teaching the kids, we getting coached on the same thing we've been learning since we were 7, 8 years old. Sometimes a little variations, and sometimes they get super creative that doesn't need to get super creative, but they want to put their spin on it, and then we go and teach those kids. You see what I'm saying? And these are kids that went to Vanderbilt, you know what I'm saying? Went to Louisville, right? Went to the top high school programs, and we got to go over it over and over again. And we do it from a chalkboard style. So I'm just telling you, started early. Australia College pathway. All right. We shine out everybody. All right. CT. All right. That's what we doing our Australian thing with. We exposed our player to other coaches at 13U after playing 65, 75 games a year for a few years. Right after high school level baseball, we exposed our player to other coaches at 13U after. Okay. All right. Dad coach can teach it all to the youth. Dad coach can teach it all to the youth at 100%. All right. Okay. I agree. What would you say that top organizations in the Southeast are in your opinion? What would you say the top organizations in the Southeast? Of course, you got the Canes, the 5 Stars. Oh man, I'm loving them. They're gonna love me for this. It's a lot of programs that I don't really know. I hear about it. I asked the mom yesterday. She was telling me about. No, it's Javier. He's on here now. He was telling me about a top program in Florida. No, it's in Orlando. All right, my boy Maurice was telling me I've never heard of them, but they're the top program in Orlando. All right, so I'll be the first to tell you I don't be paying attention to all. I hear certain these names and all of that, and they put all these kids in school and all of that. I'm from the mindset of if I'm nice, I'm nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would go for the experience if they want me. I would go for the experience and all of that. And I'm not chasing them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't chasing them. All right. That was my mindset all the time. When I played, I never, I was one of those kids at 13, 14 years old. We would go to these camps that, and the NFL guy or the Major League Baseball guy was, it's signing day and everybody would be running up to get their autographs. They'd be like, "Do you?" I'm like, "No, I'm gonna sign my own autographs one day." It was dead serious. I got one autograph in my life, and that was from Slick Rick. And my guys know who that is. All right. I got one autograph. I was 10, 11 years old. I was awestruck about Slick Rick sitting on the plane with me. All right. That's the only autograph I got. No, we went to the Giants thing one year when I was 8 years old. But once I kind of got like knowing enough, you know what I'm saying? I got one autograph. And I done been in the room with everybody. I could care less. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I was when I was, coming up. That was my mindset. So to answer your question about, travel teams, and I'm not shooting it down. It's a handful of that I know, but I'm under the impression that if I'm nice, I'm nice. Is it my hometown? 5-star Canes Team Elite, East Cobb. All right, Cliff says, all right, here we go. 5-star Canes Team Elite, East Cobb, FTB. FTB is the one. All right, that I was listening to. All right, so there you go. All right, them are the top ones. Okay, so, and I told dad, it was one dad that went with 5-star. It was almost like he was like, yeah, I went with them. He's a good kid. The kid can play. All right, he listens to stuff, and he is a 13-year-old now. So he was like, yeah, he's like, you can hear it in his voice that he felt like they wanted him. It's like I'm logo chasing. That's basically the gist that I got. I was like, you cool with it? He's like, yeah, man, just because he knew it was like he was logo chasing a little, and what I mean, like they wanted him And he was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this kid is really good, you know what I'm saying? So, but I get the gist of why he was having that, type of feeling, right? Because I know the dad is, so he was like, yo, what I'm gonna do? They want my kid, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm like, cool, congratulations, you know what I'm saying? But you could tell he was like, man. So, but anyway, man, that's my 2 cents, man, on this whole matter. Ivy League, Ivy. I went from all of that to say, find an organization that will teach your kid great development and get them on to give where they're essentially win. Because if you play good baseball, because you don't have to be the most talented team to win. You know what I'm saying? If you play solid defense, pitch strikes, you'll win. That model goes all the way up to the major leagues. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, right? If you pitch strikes and get outs, don't give the team extra outs, you will win most games. Okay, that's it. Pitch strikes, timely hitting, and don't walk nobody, and make all the plays. You will win games. All right. We had a 13-year-old team, and had the Blaze Jordan just got drafted third round, and Blaze is all on YouTube, 12 years old, hitting bombs and all of that. And I had to meet a AAA team, and we were solid and all of that, right? And I pitched a nice little soft on lefty, didn't walk nobody. Those big boys are out in front, rolling over, double plays. We had 4 hits the whole game. We had 8 walks, all right, and we ain't make no errors. We had about 3 or 4 double plays. That big ranked 13-year-old ranking, whatever it means, right? You know what I'm saying? And we beat them. Now they came back and really played the next time with our butts, right? But we didn't play smart. We didn't pitch strikes, and we got walking guys and all of that, man. So if you just pitch strikes, preferably if you can pitch all speed a little bit, get them all balanced a little bit, get the weak ground balls. That's what that works all over the major leagues. I know you see a lot of strikeouts and all of that, but 2 or 3 pitches or less. You know what I'm saying? Get them soft contact. That's all. Ground ball. You know what I'm saying? Just make the plays. All right. Don't give them extra outs. Don't walk nobody. And hit a couple, key base hits and all of that. You will win most games. You don't have to be the most talented team to do it. All right. You guys see that? I look at the major leagues right now. I look at, now the Braves are super talented, but they got all rookies over there. It's starting staff, right? They banging the ball. They can bang. You know what I'm saying? But they're keeping it simple. Dodgers, opened up on them the other day, but for the most part, they're keeping it simple. They're making the plays. They're coming through with the hits and all of that and winning. Tampa had, to beat the Yankees, right? I think the Yankees got 3 times the salary, at least double, you know what I'm saying, the salary, right? Tampa is one of those just grinder, you know what I'm saying? They play, you know what I'm saying? They pitch hard, they play defense, key hits. The formula is easy. It's easy. It's easy. It's not easy to execute, especially with here and there. But they basically pitch good. All right. I look at all their guys coming out of the pen. They're like 95 to 97, and it ain't this. It ain't straight. It's just moving, it's cutting and sliding, and I'm just like, damn, ain't nothing straight. Weak contact. So you can get the Judges, you can get the Stantons, and the Luke Voigt, and you get the more big boys and all that type of. I mean, it was a slugfest. They would get, it went the distance. But again, hard moving pitches off the barrel of the bat, soft ground balls, just missing home run, key situations and all that, not coming through. You play solid defense and you do it. The best at bat I saw, man, was the kid was done with case in point was the game-winning home run of Tampa. If you're watching it, I didn't watch it live. I actually saw the highlights, but I saw that whole AB. All right, he's a guy that wasn't drafted extremely high, and what I loved about baseball, he wasn't drafted high. A month earlier, Tampa was playing the Yankees, and Chapman threw 100 miles an hour and threw right over his head. Basically, tried to scare the living mess out of him. And essentially, if he gets hit with that ball, it potentially kill him, or definitely at least end his career if he gets hit right, with throwing 100 from Chapman, right, threw over his head, right. He got mad and benches cleared and all of that. Comes back now, and it's for real in the playoffs and all of that. The key had a great AB. Right, Not a high round guy, not a high round guy, bounding to stay in the major leagues, putting some tough ABs, really good hitter. That's what Tampa's about, right? And then you got Chapman, you know what I'm saying? One of the best closers, in the game for many, many years, throwing 100 something, right? Battle, foul ball, taking close pitches, boom, battle, boom, and then gets revenge and hits a bomb. All right. That's the beauty of baseball. Chapman, it's not the 3-2 fastball that the guy hit out. All right. What I like about it was the 1-2, the 0-2, the one, the two close pitches he was taking. You know what I'm saying? Because when the guy throws hard, you get the cheating, and you could just see the AB. He just start timing him. When you start fouling that fastball back, you start seeing. I was like, yo, he's starting to get him. He's trying to time him up. He lay off a couple of sliders, close pitches here and there. When you start laying off of close pitches and you start fouling that fastball, you got him. You got him. You finally got him. Undrafted kid. All right, Borchi. I drafted out of Maryville, Indiana. All right, look at this. All right, I'm over here talking about the kid, man. But undrafted out of Maryville, Indiana, man. All right. I'm just making a case in point, right? Sometimes it's just not about the most talented team, the biggest team. You play the game, you can win. What's up with the travel team charging these big time fees for all year training? It really necessary once the kid know the fundamentals? When is it a good investment? What do you think about it? All right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got you, Adam. I know. What do you think about it? Okay, because right, we look into IMG with my daughter, right? Freaking $86,000. You know what I'm saying? A year, 80 something thousand, right? You know what I mean? It's something that it's like, do we need that to pay that? We can take less than half of that and just, very similar training, or, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a personal preference. I love what dude says about, you know what I mean? Those baseball players need to make all this type of money, right? The billionaires are making billions of dollars off of this thing. So, do you feel like, what I'm saying, paying all this money? Do you need to pay that every month? There's never a return on investment. If you play travel, we're talking about from 8, 9, 10 years old, and you're paying anywhere from 8, 12, 15, $2,000 from 8 years old, 9, 10 years old. All right, all the way to high school, and it gets higher once you get to high school. The showcase teams, some are paying $3,500, $4,000. You know what I'm saying? A team, a kid. All right. So you do the math. All right. Let's just say between $15,000 and $4,000 on the high end from a high level team. All right. Divide that by 2. Just say 20 some $100. You know what I'm saying? From the time you're 10 years old. All right. So 10 to 18, you're paying. I'm just giving a roundabout whatever. All right. You're paying $25,000. You know what I'm saying? That's not counting hotels. That's not counting hitting lessons and pitching lessons and all that. I'm not, just $25,000. All right. And you get 25% scholarship. All right. To a $30,000 school. Okay. Which is on the low end. All right. 25% scholarship. All right. So that's $7,500. You know what I'm saying? On a scholarship, but you don't spend $25,000. Is it a return on investment? But your kid goes to play to college. He's part of the 7%. All right. I knew that early. I knew that from when I was playing football. And that's why I was like, yo, I ain't going on no college baseball scholarship. You crazy? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? I'm good enough to play college football, and I could have went all the big time baseball schools, all of them. But I chose, mid-major Maryland, it's Power 5, but conference, but Maryland football. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't paying. My mother ain't had to talk to me about it. And it was no discussion to me. I was like, once I learned about partial scholarships from baseball, I was like, really? I didn't even, I was like, I could play 2 sports. I know I could get a football scholarship. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's going to be a full ride. It wasn't, and again, I know most people are not in that situation. I'm just saying, is it a return on investment? So you might as well go hard if it's not really, depending on, again, I'm just saying if you've been playing travel baseball and the hotel fees and all of that, you pay $5,000-10,000 a summer. You know what I mean? And it's not gonna even out. Okay. Might be the best to put that money towards paying for his tuition. I mean, really. Or I met this mom who she was my daughter's allergist or something like that, right? And her son was a big time golfer, and she was, traveled the world with him. Right? He even went to IMG, you know what I'm saying, for golfing and stuff. Right? At 15, 16, he walked away from the game. She said he was going to Scotland, playing all over. He was one of the highly ranked kids and all of that, And she was like, when he walked, she said he walked away from the game. It killed, it just hurt her heart, all the money and all of that. She said, here's my daughter who's younger than him. She's just a brainiac. I ain't had to spend nothing on her. And she's the one that ended up with the full ride. And she said, so if I was you, I was like, I would pay, pay for the tutors and you know what I'm saying, and all the money, you know what I'm saying, to be put into, making sure the ACT and the grades is right, which means the most. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? In the grand scheme, especially when it comes to baseball, that means everything. If you're halfway decent and got good grades, you can get in, to anywhere, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? If you're halfway decent and all of that. I appreciate it, man. So anyway, I know right at that hour today. Appreciate you guys on Friday evening taking out your time. And I just thought that based on Ivy, we talked about an hour about this, but thank you, Ivy, for that question in the background, and give me a chance to kind of talk about it up here. All right. So next weekend in Orlando, I put the link up there, dborlando showcase.com. If you're in the Florida area, you want to come. All right. I will be showing bits and pieces, I believe, from the showcase tomorrow on Facebook, potentially YouTube, and we will go from there. All right. I will. Some of the parents that are on here, I'll see tomorrow. Some not. And Bubba, you said. Bubba asked, are you familiar with East Coast Sox or TPL? TPL, not so much. East Coast Sox, yes. Shout out to my boy Joe Caruso, the owners of East Coast, and Chris Nopek. I know them well. Both of those guys are my ex-teammates, and I know that they do a good job. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, all right, definitely, that's my boy Joe Caruso. He's, that's my guy. I know Joe's since played together, University of Alabama guy, Bubba. All right. So I like him for that alone, right? But yeah, Joe's my guy. All right. And Chris Nopek. So Bubba, when you talk to him, tell him D Brown. All right. Tony says, what up? I'll be watching. Shout out to Cerritos College. And my boy Tony will be tuning in tomorrow for the showcase. All right. All right. All right. So I know University of Tennessee responded and said that they will watch the replay on the showcase. They have practice tomorrow, and and then sent the email out to those coaches. But anyway, forget a lot. You know what I'm saying? Over 70 coaches will have access to that footage, and they will be looking. So sometime, all right. So in the future, if you're anywhere near Dallas, Waco, Orlando, tomorrow we ain't taking no walk-ups, but I shut down the thing on Wednesday, but we still got people signing up. All right, we had about 10 people. People last minute with everything, but I'm not complaining. We had about 10 kids sign up late, after registrations, but I took them on. Hopefully they get their shirts and stuff like that. So we're gonna have, like I said, we have 70 kids coming tomorrow. Man, it's gonna be from college and through high school, and it should be fun. And we got 3 scouts, Rangers, Royals, and A's scouts. There we have Jackson State, Delta. We have about maybe 3 or 4 schools that will be in attendance, if not more. All right. So man, it should be fun. All right. It's exposure time. Want these kids to come out, gonna be a little cool in the morning, man, but it should be a fun time, and meeting some of the parents and stuff that been following me. We have Nashville, Alabama, Kentucky coming in town, man. All right. So it should be pretty cool. All right. And then we Orlando next weekend in Texas. Right, heading into the big Texas. So hit me up. All right. I know we got it. Some sign a rolling, especially those texts are are coming in. So man, it'd be it should be cool. Smitty, Dallas here. What's Dallas here? What's this? My first time hearing of it. Dallas here. What's this? My first time hearing it. Yeah, sure. Yes, we are. Man, I got to get it out there more. Huh? We're having a showcase, so I'm gonna put the. I don't have the flyer, but go on my page here and you'll see it. But here is the link to the Dallas workout. So I'm gonna have about 20 some schools live streaming. I definitely will have. I know we got at least three schools, two schools that will be in attendance there, along with the 20 some that will be streaming in, and then we'll have that streaming footage from the workout. I will be sending out to 70 plus coaches across the country. All right, that is part of my network. Okay, so here is here's the link, Smith. Go check out go check it out. All right. That's the Dallas. We have a handful of stops. That's 2 weeks from tomorrow. All right. So, Smitty, if you are in the Dallas area or the Texas area, if you want to come get some exposure, come on out. We got Waco, and Waco will be another one. We'll have at least five, six. We have some of the major JCs will be out there, and it's going to be cool, man. And the pro scouts. Jesse, why do I always forget the pro guys, right? And this is what I got coming in the future. I talked to a few of my parents, but I'm gonna start picking certain cities. We're just gonna do pro cases, so which meaning that it's gonna be a little different kid. All right, good, Smitty. All right, it's in Methlonian, Texas. Methlonian. I gotta learn that word. I kind of chop it up a little bit at Atlas Sports Complex. But in the future, yes, we're talking about certain areas, certain places where we're just, not only the campuses won't come on, but we're also talking about strictly pro workouts. All right, Woodbat Pro, we're pro scouts only. All right, and we're gonna I'm gonna start lining that up maybe spring and summer, man. All right, LA. So we set that up. I need to come out to LA, huh? Man, man, you know what I'm saying? I need to come on out there and make it happen. So what I think at the pro showcases, I obviously with the pro showcases is going to be more so, draft level kids and the junior college kids. All right, that's going to be in the future, and I would pump that up. And when it comes to that, man, yeah, scouts everywhere, coach. Mark, every showcase I will be having, I would, be trying to have at least 2 scouts at that show. So now Orlando, I got to get a move on. I got to get that, lined up in Orlando. Dallas, not lined up yet neither. And then Waco is definitely already lined up in Waco. All right, we got the college and the pro. I just got to figure out how many schools, and I got my team down there working out there now. So I have it, pro, definitely. So me, I got to get Orlando and Dallas, squared away with the pro side. All right. And that's just a phone call or two. I just kind of, really next, Saturday night, tomorrow night, it really shifts to Orlando hardcore and get everything lined up there, man. But yeah. So Dallas too. We have a few colleges there, and then we got to get the coaches lined up, man. So we'll get it going, man. All right. No, Mark, I appreciate you. And I need to get in touch with you, man, and get with your daughter, man. I was thinking about her the other day, man, because I was like, man, this video editing and whatever, man. So I need to be reaching out to you maybe tomorrow afternoon, definitely on Sunday. Just shoot you a text, man, and see what's going on, see how your daughter can help what I got going on. All right. All right. Appreciate you guys, man. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. I know it's starting to get cold in certain areas, man, and be playing out there. Stay safe with your kid out there. Enjoy it, man. All right. Get that development. Love you guys. Peace and love, y'all.